People have been thinking about the afterlife and what it holds for as long as society has been a thing. I mean, it would kinda suck if all you had to look forward to was cold, dark nothingness after you die. So if you've ever had thoughts about what lies in the great hereafter, here's some of the most popular theories about the afterlife. First up, let's talk about the egg theory. This spawns from a popular internet story by Andy Weir. The idea is that you, me, and every person who has ever lived or will ever live is actually the same soul, reincarnated over and over, and once you've lived every single human life ever, you become a god yourself. That doesn't sound so bad. Kinda like the ultimate version of treat others how you would be treated. But the plot twist is, you are the others. This one might be among the more outlandish theories out there, but it's definitely one of the cooler ones. Listen up, Keanu Reeves fans. The next one is the simulation theory. This idea is that our reality is actually just a giant computer simulation run by some seriously high-tech future civilization. We're all just lines of code in the Matrix, man. But hey, at least that means there might be cheat codes, right? Although I guess that would make the robot overlords a little upset. I don't know about you, but I think I'll take my chances. Moving on to the spoopy stuff, let's talk about paranormal theory. This is the idea that when we die, our souls stick around on Earth as ghosts, poltergeists, or other things that go bump in the night. Anybody that's watched a horror movie having to do with ghosts is probably familiar with this one. Just remember, if you see a creepy little girl in a white dress standing at the end of the hallway, and you're still among the living, run. If you're not into the spooky mumbo-jumbo, what about the cosmic theory? This one says our consciousness doesn't belong to us as individuals, but to the universe as a whole. And when we pass, our consciousness returns to the cosmic soup from whence it came. Groovy, right? It's like we're all just drops in the ocean of the universe, man. Who knew it would take the entire universe to bind us all together? This next one was rumored to have been attempted by Walt Disney, introducing the frozen head theory. Also known as cryogenics, this is the idea that we can freeze our bodies before or after death, and then be revived in the future when science has figured out how to cure death. Kinda like hitting the snooze button on mortality. Just make sure you leave a note for future civilization. Defrost in case of apocalypse. This one's for those of you who maybe believe in the multiverse. Comic books or not. The multiverse, aka the many worlds theory, says that for every decision we make, the universe splits into different versions, one where we made that choice, and one where we didn't. So in one universe, you're watching this video, but in another, you're skydiving while juggling chainsaws. Point is, when you die in one universe, you keep on living in all the others. Kinda like a cosmic choose-your-own-adventure book. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, we'd sure love it if you'd share and subscribe. We love to share weird and wacky things all the time, and we want to reach as many people as possible. And you can help us out by doing those things. Thanks in advance. Now back to the video. Maybe you want your afterlife to have a bit more structure. Then you might be interested in the Aztec theory. In their view, how you die determines which of 3 afterlives you end up in. Warriors and women who died giving birth get to be an immortal hummingbird, following the sun god across the sky. Sounds pretty sweet. But if you died of natural causes, you have to pass through the 9 levels of the underworld. Hope you like obstacle courses. The Egyptians had a slightly different take. They believed that the physical body would continue on into the afterlife as long as you passed the final judgment. That's why they mummified their dead and buried them with all their favorite things. But hey, you're gonna need your Xbox in the afterlife, right? Just don't forget the power cord. Getting a little more metaphysical up in here, you ever heard of dream theory? This one posits that our entire life is just a big hyper-realistic dream, and when we pass, we suddenly wake up in another layer of reality. It's like that movie Inception, but without Leo DiCaprio and his spinning top. But if this is all a dream, does that mean I can fly? Hang on, let me try. Nope, still can't. Bummer. If you're more the spiritual type, let me introduce you to Rastafarianism. This Jamaican religion believes in a concept called ever-living, where death is just a transition from one life form to another. So when you die, your soul just keeps on grooving to that reggae beat in the next realm. Pass the positive vibes. I could really use some. If reincarnation is more your style, you might like Buddhist theory. In Buddhism, afterlife is determined by your karma. Basically, how much of a good person you were in this life. If you were kind, compassionate, and followed the teachings of the Buddha, You might just be reborn in a higher realm, or even achieve nirvana and escape the cycle altogether. But if you were kind of a prick, well, you might come back as a dung beetle. Better start working on that karma, folks. Hinduism has a similar take on reincarnation, but with a few key differences. In Hindu belief, the soul is eternal and unchanging, and it moves between different bodies over multiple lifetimes. The goal is to attain self-knowledge and escape the cycle of rebirth altogether. But unlike Buddhism, Hinduism has a caste system that determines your station in each life. So if you were born into a low caste in this life, apparently it's the universe telling you to work on your spiritual game. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not digging that whole caste system thing. This one's for the more jaded and maybe nihilistic among you. Maybe you believe that when we're done, we're done. That's the concept of nothingness, or eternal oblivion. It's the idea that after death, there's just nothing. No consciousness, no soul, no afterlife, just an endless void of non-existence. Maybe you don't have to worry about paying taxes anymore, but personally, there being absolutely nothing after I'm gone is probably the scariest thought. Up next is the uncertainty theory, which is essentially a fancy way of saying, we ain't got the foggiest idea what happens after we're gone. This one's for the agnostics out there, because let's face it, for all our theorizing and beliefs and late-night dorm room philosophy, the truth is, death is the ultimate mystery. Nobody's ever come back to give us a Yelp review of the afterlife, so maybe the most logical thing we can do is admit that we have no clue, and focus on making the most of the life we've got. No talk of the afterlife would be complete without mentioning probably its biggest player, Christianity. In this theory, your eternal fate hinges on whether you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. If you do, you get to spend eternity in heaven, singing God's praises and enjoying all the harp music and cloud sitting you can handle. But if you don't, well, let's just say things probably get a bit toasty. But hey, at least you get plenty of company down there, right? I hear there's quite a hellish poker scene. If you really want to level up your afterlife game, you might check out Mormon Theory. In this belief system, heaven is divided into 3 tiers, the celestial, terrestrial, and telestial kingdoms. And if you really exceed in life, you get to be a god of your own planet in the celestial kingdom. That's right, you get to be the one making the rules and judging the souls. Talk about a promotion, huh? But maybe the idea of eternal judgment isn't your cup of tea. In this case, how about the never-ending life theory? This one's pretty simple. When you die, you're just reborn as a new person, with no memory of your past life. Kinda like hitting the reset button on existence. But hey, at least you get to experience the joys of being a kid again, right? And who knows, maybe in your next life you'll be a billionaire, or a supermodel, or maybe a corgi. The possibilities are endless, and people say there's no respawning after you die. And now for our final theory, Reincarnation Roulette. This is the idea that when you die, your soul gets randomly reassigned to a new body, regardless of your karma or how you lived your past life. Basically, the universe is playing a cosmic game of chance with your eternal existence. Spin the wheel and see where you end up. Maybe you'll come back as a butterfly, or a blade of grass, or toenail fungus. Those last two seem pretty short-lived, but hey, keeps things interesting, doesn't it? And there you have it, folks, a tour of some of the most fascinating afterlife theories out there. I mean, at the end of the day, what do we really know? I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel who loves to ponder existence. It helps keep the fear of the ultimate end at bay. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think happens after we die? Do you have your own unique vision of the great beyond? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into life's biggest questions. Because we're all just trying to figure out this crazy ride called existence, one theory at a time. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.